Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, and welcome to another entry of Wolfula Chat, where I cover the latest shit happening in the world of horror with my zombie servant, Ghoulash.
Oh, hey. Ghoulash here.
Yes, you're here. You're even more here now than you've ever been. Of course, things aren't too rough for you right now, since you're almost never allowed to leave the Wolfie lair anyway.
I don't even know what's going on in the outside world.
Lucky you. I'd send you outside right now as punishment to deal with what's happening, but then I'd just be unleashing something even worse upon the world. They don't need to deal with you right now.
Sir, I'm already dead. Can we just move on?
Fair enough. So, these days, not a whole lot is happening in the world of horror. A lot of upcoming horror movies are getting pushed back. Hell, I don't even know if any movie theaters will be open by the end of the year.
Sir, what's going on in the world right now?
It's none of your concern. Anyway, since not a whole lot is coming out, it's a perfect time to catch up on recent horror movies and shows, which is why we're covering Haunt, released in late 2019. Two Patreon supporters, Gary Miller and Harley Graves, recommended it. Thanks guys for your support and your ringing endorsements.
Haunt is a slasher film directed/written by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, writers of A Quiet Place.
A popular horror film that I have still not seen. I've got a lot of catching up to do. Haunt was a pretty low-key release. I didn't see much promotion for it, just word of mouth by fans like Gary and Harley, so it did catch my eye at least.
The eye not covered by a sunglass lens.
Indeed. I wish I'd been able to cover the film upon release, but I guess that's something that the current events has allowed us to do anyway. Go back and appreciate the content already available to us.
I'm still in the dark.
Oh well. Haunt tells the story of Harper, played by Katie Stevens, who is dragged along with her roommate Bailey to a party on Halloween night with a couple of friends.
I don't have a costume. It would be weird.
It's Halloween. Weird is good.
At the venue, the gals run into two dudes, Nathan the Jock and Evan the Boar, and after the party, the gals join these fellas for continued Halloween festivities.
God, do you remember when you could just go out and do stuff?
No.
Of course not. Anywho, while wandering around blindly in the middle of nowhere at night, the gang spots a sketchy roadside sign advertising a haunted house, and tapping into their inner Mystery Inc., the meddling kids investigate.
The location of the titular haunt is certainly upfront with its sketchiness. It looks like a place where meth labs are built, and before entering you have to sign release forms waiving liability.
Guys, we're basically signing our lives away to this thing. Yes!
It's one of those hardcore extreme haunts, not some pussy-ass Halloween Horror Nights bullshit where you're packed in a crowded tunnel and you can see out-of-costume Universal employees pointing out emergency exits. No, this is the kind of place where you really want to experience proper simulated terror, where the boundaries between safety and true horror become blurred.
Inside, the haunt is really ratty-tatty, pieced together with character actors wearing crudely made costumes. The main characters themselves think everything is a gag, even the supposed murder of a woman in front of them.
That's part of the beauty of Haunt. You're stuck in the shoes of the characters most of the movie, and you're not quite sure what's going on with this place. A part of me felt like the characters were just getting messed with like they initially think, like this movie is another April Fool's Day.
When Bailey actually gets injured in the haunt, though, is where things get serious for the characters, and they realize that they may very well be in actual danger.
Haunt thankfully does the sensible thing and goes straight to the haunted house 15 minutes into the movie. It doesn't fuck around with long setup, it gets straight to the point. The haunted house is incredibly well realized. The production design is amazingly detailed, and even in the early scenes in the haunt, I had this sense of unseen dread that only mounted as the film progressed.
Yes, the film has a great atmosphere and look. The fact that the movie gets to the haunt so quickly is a blessing because the characters are pretty bland for the most part. So it's nice that the movie doesn't mess around too much with the characters hanging out sans haunted house.
Yeah, most of the characters are pretty straightforward. Harper's gal pals are basic bitches, the dudes are a jock and a funny fat guy.
I can't just give you a free ride because you're my buddies.
Oh, no.
It's not fair to the paying customers. I'm all about fairness. Always have been.
You have to be.
5-star rated, baby!
I didn't hate any of the characters. Even the dickish dude acts as an alright comic relief. The main characters for the most part are just kinda bland, but it's not a big deal.
Harper is an exception amongst the cast, at least. That character does have a pretty fleshed out backstory involving an abusive father and the cycle of abuse continuing with her current boyfriend Sam.
It isn't just thrown in there to add artificial depth either. It's woven in the main story pretty well and has a good payoff at the end that brings things full circle.
I would go upstairs to my room and I would hide under the bed.
Only issue is how the boyfriend character plays out. I thought his inclusion would lead to something interesting plot-wise, but he's just kind of thrown away. Feels like more could have been done with that character than what was there.
It's whatever though, because the dudes haunting the haunt are totally fucking cool. The masked weirdos are really good horror villains. They have no backstory or context. They're just these super fucked up people who would run killer haunted house attractions.
Do you still want to see my face?
They're all very distinctive and memorable. They aren't just identical kill guys dressed as clowns and devils. There's a lot of ambiguity to them at the same time, too. You never know what each one is up to, and they seem to have a lot of autonomy.
Yeah, they're never like meeting up together, working as a team, so it's completely unclear what the deal is with them. There's no dynamic. One of the dudes, the ghost guy, goes as Mitch and appears actually helpful to the main group when things start to go south.
Look, we're a little extreme here, but safety is a huge priority.
The audience is just totally in the dark about the nature of these villains, so the movie just does a good job of messing with its viewers overall.
Haunt is just really fucking good at the end of the day. It's got suspense in spades with some really thrilling, intense sequences, but it even pulls off some solid gore that's properly earned through build-up.
The film is really well done, executing its haunted house premise with flair, exploring all the possibilities the premise entails, like sticking your hand into a wall blindly to feel around for what's inside. It isn't spaghetti and grapes in this case.
There's even an escape room scene that's pretty cool. Honestly, I'd love to play a game based on this movie or go through an actual haunt based on Haunt. I don't even care if it's a snuff haunt.
My whole existence is a snuff haunt.
Haha, yeah.
It's a bit of a work in progress, but I think you'll like it.
Anyway, Haunt is an excellent horror film, no real major complaints at all. The movie is simple in concept but executed amazingly, and it's just a fun horror flick to spend an evening during quarantine watching.
Quarantine?
Long story, I give Haunt a Mitch out of 5-star rideshare driver.
Sir, you have to tell me what's happening in the world right now.
Oh, nothing, just a routine apocalypse. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, like it, and if you loved it, subscribe for more and click the bell icon to find out when my latest vids and streams go live. Want a double dose of Dr. Wolfula? Donate to my Patreon and you'll get bonus content for supporting the channel, including exclusive movie streams and commentaries weekly. Be sure to also give me a visit in the free Pop-Ace app to hang out in a virtual Wolfulair, complete with horror quizzes and bonus vids. Link in the description to download for iOS and Android. I'd like to give a special thanks to my true Wolfulite supporters on Patreon and my channel memberships for their pledges. Their support helps keep the channel going after all these years. Thank you guys. Alrighty, Dr. Wolfula signing out. See you all next time.